Hey, what's going on today, YouTube? I want to talk to you today about a Daniel Defense M4V5. I've had this gun for quite a while in my terms, probably 7 or 8 years. I think I bought this a little before Sandy Hook, and then the prices jumped up, and I was glad to have bought it then. Anyways, I'm going to shoot the video. I might throw in some B-roll here and there, but for the most part, I'm just going to talk about it. If you're looking for a lot of innovative material, this isn't that video. I'm probably not that guy. It's just a M4V5 that I really like. Been really happy with it, and I'm just gonna talk about what's on it. So, yeah, it is a standard Daniel Defense rifle that I have modified. And by modified, I mean just part swapped quite a bit of. Had an MOE stock on it. This is their Magpul's MOE rifle stock now. It's fixed. It does have a compartment back here. Works well. I really like it. I'm fine having the fixed stock. I don't need some, it's kind of a longer gun as it is. The way that I shoot this particular gun, it's like a, hardcore wannabe SR25 coyote gun. So I don't really need the barrel position. This isn't some CQB rifle. That's whatever. It's got a geyser trigger in it. I swapped it for a Daniel Defense stock trigger. Their combat triggers are great. They are what they are. They're very basic. So no problems there, but I wanted this one. The magazine is unloaded for today's purposes. Should have started the video with that. And nothing's in the battery. So there you go. This has a anti-rotating or anti-walk pin set for the trigger. Get you closer to that. So you can see, sorry, it's hard to do this backwards. This right here is designed so the trigger pins can't walk in and out. This is a standard lower kit other than that, and the trigger. But everything else came stock. This Magpul trigger guard came stock. This Magpul MOE grip came stock. So nothing super hardcore there. These I put in when I put the stock in, and up front they have sling points that you can sling to on both sides of the rifle for a quick attach Magpul push pin type. This is a Trijicon ACOG. I'm trying to see if there's a model number on there. I don't see one. It's got a Bobro quick release on there that I very occasionally use, mostly just for transit. But it's a green crosshair that has pre-measured marks for up to 1,000 yards with a 223 round, and it works pretty well. Also, on the side here, you can see it's got iron sights, so that's why there's no irons on this. If this thing goes down, it's an ACOG. If that goes down, the rest of the rifle probably got, run over, blown up or something. And this is a Trijicon RMR that's zeroed at 100 yards. And that works great. It's really fun to use for quick target acquisition. You can jump from target to target, between 50 and 200 yards with pretty good accuracy, and it runs great. I have this 20 round mag in here because it allows the gun to sit flush to the ground, whereas a 30 round mag is too long. And so if you have the bipod deployed, it sits at a weird angle down. Not that aggressive, but it's a hyperbole. So that's why I don't want that one. But as you can imagine, it would just sit a little bit lower and look more like a traditional M4. Up front, you have a full rail. It is a lot of Picatinny rail space. There's some weight to it because of that. You can trim a couple pounds off here or there, but it's kind of a long gun. I spent a lot of time, braced with this. I'm not running and gunning for some FBI QRT task force, so I don't care about the weight. It's not a big problem for me. I can still pick it up like this, and if I have to, maneuver, so there's no problem. It is a, Daniel Defense has their, cold forged barrels. Barrels have been great, haven't had any issues with it. It is pretty reliable, pretty accurate, and pretty consistent. This is the Daniel Defense vertical grip. They're $5. It came with it, but it's nothing special. I have a half dozen of them that have transferred from one gun to another over the years. This is a pretty typical Harris Bipod. Everyone's seen one. So that's about how it looks deployed. The Harris bipods, you know, Magpul has one that came out recently. I used a couple other ones. It's really hard to beat this design, you know. Harris is great. There's kind of some like knockoff Harris ones that perform just as well, but I'm really happy with it. I have one on my, I have one or two on my bigger guns and they work great there. This is a SilencerCo ASR mount. It has kind of some thicker, coarser thread pitch on there, and it's got these little teeth in the back. What that's for is for this. So you can run a standard style suppressor like mount on this, and you have fine threads and you end up threading it for like 5 minutes. Or this is a SilencerCo Harvester Big Bore. Wasn't too long, and it's on there. So the Harvester Heavy Big Bore is rated for 338 Bipod. I have it on a 300 Win Mag most days, and it is pretty quiet on that. On this thing, with, you know, a quick little round, like the bullet downrange, that supersonic like little clap is going to be way louder than the actual muzzle. But it adds some weight, and it adds some length. But overall, I love shooting with this can on. I use this thing to shoot a javelina, not the gun, just the can, in a different setup a couple months ago. So it's been really fun. I've been really happy with how this turned out. When I first bought this, it was black. I had it cerakoted by a guy in the Pacific Northwest. I'll try and stop his info down below. Oh, it also has a Radiant Raptor. Totally forgot about that. I like these charging handles quite a bit. They're ambidextrous. I think the feel is great. So that's cool. And it's a stock bolt carrier group. Is there anything else? Not really. I run a Magpul MS4 sling for this. So that's the only thing that's not in the picture, and it works great. Anyways, this thing was all black when I first got it. I had an EOTech on it. I thought it was like, you know, super cool. And then I got a Daniel Defense M4V5, and I fell in love with that gun, way more so than the V5. And I came to hate this thing when it was all black with the adjustable stock, and you know, it looked like some like Call of Duty like nonsense, and I wasn't a big fan. And then I shoved it in the back of my safe for 4 years, and I didn't shoot it, and I didn't think about it, and I was happy. And one day I saw it, and I was unhappy because I was looking at it again, and it was an abomination. So I was like, well, what can I do to make this more useful? It looks kind of goofy having just an ACOG and then all of this rail space, but this ACOG works great. I don't really need a bunch of other junk on here. I don't need a flashlight. I'm not clearing rooms. I don't need a PEC 15. And it shoots great. So I had cerakoted, and now it's kind of my like 300 to 900 yard AR-15. And in that regards, it excels. That's about it. That's the whole video. I will throw some B-roll in, hopefully here and there, of it shooting. With the can on, it's too quiet. People always think it's like a AR-15 22. It's a little like step down 22, and it's not. It's a full 5.56, and it shoots great. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about it, it's a pretty boring build, but I love it. So there you go.